Hi, and welcome to this live reading from The Guard, a Soppranaturale series, Book 2 by Ashley Pagano, and this is presented by Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Chapter 1. May I Have This Dance? We skip into the vacant elevator. Its humming yellow lights flicker above as we circle each other below. While she giggles contagiously, I spin her around as if I'm her ballroom dancing partner. The high of the gauntlet consumes us like a potent drug, so much so that we've forgotten where we are for a few moments. We revolve around one another like two spinning tops, and every few spins we brush arms. I pull her in and dip her with one hand and press the 7th floor button with the other. Then she whips back upright, causing her hair to slap against my face. She quickly breaks our stance and presses the 3rd floor button repeatedly just as the elevator starts moving. "What are you doing?" I ask timidly. I'm still booked in my room for a few more days, even though Preston is gone. I'm not ready to share a room with you, Link. Please respect that. I'm a good girl, and I just went through a tough breakup. She reminds me of her sorrows, which I haven't seen affect her in any way until now. I can still see her face beaming with excitement, and as if she reads my mind, she says, "The gauntlet and all this were the perfect distractions for me." She bats her thick eyelashes. "I'll have you know, I was going to be a total gentleman and let you have the bed while I slept on the floor." I raise an eyebrow toward her as I lean up against the wall, arms crossed. "Were you really?" She leans into me, hands on her hips, and clearly calls my bluff. "Hey, give me some credit. I may have tried to make a move on you at some point, but then I would have courteously retired to the cold, hard, uncomfortable floor," I tease. "Stop that!" She smacks my chest lightly and smirks. Then she backs up against the opposite wall like we've done before. "Tell me more about the Guard." The elevator dings and bounces up and down, stopping abruptly on the 3rd floor. "Tomorrow night," I respond. Then I give her a quick peck on her lips. She steps out and twirls like a ballerina on the balls of her feet until she faces me. "Good night, Mr. Argos. This has been one of the greatest nights of my life." It's the first time I've heard her say my last name, and I like the way it sounds. Strangely, I immediately picture her introducing herself with it. "Good night, Ms. Nation." I managed to get out the last N sound just as the doors shut. Following this, I let out a long, exasperated sigh, finally allowing my body to relax. It causes the aches and pains of the gauntlet to slowly creep in on me. "Great," I whisper as I roll my shoulders back and forth to work out their newfound stiffness. I kink my head from side to side, hearing my neck joints crack within my ears. When the elevator opens to the 7th floor, I've never been more excited to take a nice hot shower and climb into bed. Instead, I'm greeted by a small clapping crowd. Several of my fellow supernaturals rush in to congratulate me. Some even pat me on the back painfully. Phoenix and Tenley are at the front of them. "Where's Amelie?" Tenley asks as she pushed into me. "She went back to her room for bed," I reply, rapidly sending my gaze around, taking in every over-animated face. "What? Did you two have a fight or something?" Phoenix asks as his gunmetal eyes protectively grill those around me who get a little too close. No, she was tired and isn't ready to spend the night with me." I fake a cheesy smile for the sake of the crowd. Stretching my face like this causes my cheeks and jawline to ache deep within their crevices. "Smart girl," Phoenix jabs, sending his elbow into my ribcage. "Ow!" I groan and clutch my abdomen. He doesn't have to be a mind reader to tell I'm awkwardly uncomfortable. "I guess you've forgotten what it's like in the limelight since it's been so long since you've won the gauntlet." His booming voice echoes inside my head, instantly triggering a pounding headache between my temples. In response, I shoot him a droopy-eyed stare. Reluctantly, I shake hands with or nod at several of my new and some original fans. I pretend to listen to their excited remarks and considerate compliments, but I know my steps are dragging, my voice is muffled, my handshake is weak, and I fight to make eye contact with any of them. I'm truly exhausted, and it must show. Thankfully, Tenley catches on quickly. "Link needs to get some rest. The gauntlet has wiped him out. Please let him pass so he can get to his room," she announces, successfully projecting her tiny mouse-like voice. Then she clutches my arm and pulls me forward until we've passed into open hallway. "Thank you." My words come out a brittle whisper as we shuffle away from the crowd. "Tenley, will you help me?" I mumble. "Sure." She reaches for my keys, immediately assuming I need help unlocking the door. "No." I whisk them away from her. "I want to take Amelie on a nice, fancy, romantic date tomorrow night. Will you help me plan it? I don't have the energy." or the creativity. Her smile triples in size, pulling the corners of her eyes up with it. Of course I can. You get some rest. I'll take it from here. It must please her to feel needed, being that she's my only girlfriend. I reach into my pocket and pull out my lopsided, messy wallet and drop it into her palm. Its weight pulls her hand down with it. An old receipt from God only knows when slips out and flutters to the floor. For whatever expenses it takes, I nod with tired eyes. Understood, she grins and flits away on the balls of her feet. Next, I fall into my dark room and slam the door behind me. That causes several picture frames to rattle against the wall, but when they silence, I see and hear nothing. No crowd, no applause, and no distant conversations. Finally, I am at peace, and the charade is over. After an 11-hour night's sleep, a steamy shower, a hearty breakfast, and multiple ice packs later, I've made my way down to the lobby. Fortunately, I'm not working today, but I know Tenley is. She must be around here somewhere. First, I notice that she's not behind the front desk, so I begin my search in all her usual spots. I speed walk to the computer room where at least one of its 6 computers act up daily, but I do not find her, and there's not one error message on any of their outdated screens either. Must mean she's been here already. Then I make my way to the server room. I strut past several oblivious hotel guests and a handful of starstruck supernaturals who whisper as they courteously let me pass. I've forgotten how much I hate the hierarchy created by the gauntlet. It makes them treat me like royalty when really I'm the farthest thing. When I reach the server room, I quickly scan my keycard, wait for the pad to click and turn green, and then I haul open the heavy door. I find Tenley crouched next to a tall, blinking tower. She's wearing her magnifying goggles that mess up her hair and make her eyes look twice their size, and she's holding a screwdriver in one hand and a frayed electrical wire in the other. When she looks up at me, it's hard not to laugh. You know you look like a bug, right? I muffle my laugh with my hand. You know you look like an unappreciative jerk after your dear friend just planned an incredible date for you, she says it without skipping a beat. I lean against one of the towers. I'm sorry. Thank you, Tenley. I really do appreciate it. Can you tell me what you planned? Don't touch that! She ticks her finger aggressively, which causes me to jump away from the tower. First, I sent her roses this morning. Only the best from Rosangel's florist. 4 bouquets, 1 red, 1 blue, 1 green, and 1 yellow. Jesus, why 4 and why those colors? I think her favorite color is orange, I mumble. Tenley doesn't look up. She just continues fiddling with the components of the tower. She carefully unbolts the back of the stack with her rusted screwdriver. Her favorite color would have been vital information last night, but each bouquet represents a different one of her elements. The red bouquet is for fire, the blue is for water, the green is for earth, and the yellow is for wind. Oh, now I get it. That's a cute idea. Can't help but frown, though. I'm not sure where she's going with this. Then I hear something click. Tenley's elbow hatchets downward, and the entire tower begins a beeping and blinking light show. She sticks her tongue out between her teeth. There we go. Now we're back in business. She stands and dusts her knees off. On each bouquet I included a note, too. She clears her throat and begins. For the blue, because I won't drown in your water. For the green, because I want to get tangled in your earth. For the yellow, because I want to get swept up in your wind. And for the red, and this will sound familiar, because you can throw fire at me and I won't get burned. After that statement I wrote, meet me in the lobby at 6 o'clock. She smiles grandly once she's finished, clearly proud of herself. Very creative, Tenley. Some of it sounds a bit sexual, but it's romantic. All of it. It's like a poem. Every woman loves a good poem. Plus, her ex-fiancé didn't know about any of her gifts, and the bouquets show that you're embracing them. He wasn't romantic like that either. She cuts me off, clearly offended, and scowls at me through the rims of her goofy goggles. I throw up my hands as if to signify a surrender. I love it, especially the part where you used my words about fire. That part was all me. So, what about the actual date? You're taking her to Nicoli's. She bends and begins restocking her toolbox with all the scattered tools. Nicoli's? How on earth did you get us into that place? There's like a 2-week waiting list. I burst out. Nicoli's is the fanciest and best restaurant in the entire state. It's won awards for its food. I've always wanted to go, and there's no one I'd rather take than Amelie. Tenley tilts her head and glares sideways at me. Her violet eyes probe mine and instantly give away the answers. I pause. No, No, you didn't. I bend and obediently begin helping her clean up. It's a favor for you because you and her deserve it. She looks guilty even though she's done nothing wrong. You agreed to go on a date with him, didn't you? I ask softly. The son of Nicoli's owner has had a crush on Tenley for quite some time. He often comes into the hotel looking for her, hoping one day she'll finally give him a shot. Little does he know what she is. It's just an innocent date, Link. It's a free meal, that's all. I'm single, so why not? Maybe after it he'll finally leave me alone. Maybe I'll purposely make it a shitty date for him. She shrugs it off as she closes her dusty toolbox. I immediately sympathize for Phoenix and what he'll think of Tenley going on a date. You didn't have to do that. There are plenty of other restaurants that I could take her to. I twist my mouth and grab the bulky toolbox from her. Just enjoy yourselves. You've been running around the hotel with these little meet and greets as pathetic excuses for real dates. It's about time you wine and dine her. She snickers. When you get back from Nicoli's, take her out on the secret patio. I'll have a final surprise waiting for you there. It'll be the perfect romantic spot for you to wrap up your night. Her large, owlish eyes blink excessively as she assesses my expression. Instead, I wrap my arms around her and pull her into a tight, rough hug that lasts a little too long. Truly, thank you, I whisper into her silver-studded ear that's so close to my lips. She pats me on the back until I break away. No problem, that's what friends are for. Then she hands me my wallet, which for once doesn't look like it's bulging. Did you organize this? I hold it up. It feels thinner. She just laughs. Then she pushes me out of the server room and into the bright hallway until its heavy door bumps me my ass. How much did the flowers cost me? I ask as Tenley throws the frayed wire over her shoulder and proceeds ahead of me. Ha! Well, how much is your soulmate worth? She glances over her shoulder through beetled eyebrows. Damn it, I sigh, knowing all too well that means they were expensive as hell.